Season 4 of YouTube League is officially behind me. There are still some matches in quarterfinals, then semifinals and in finals left. But unfortunately, in quarterfinals we lost 1-0 against the superior Lizardmen. But considering when our team got thus far, which is getting in the top 16, then beating Orcs in the first match, and then getting really close to even beating Lizards, it's time to say goodbye to these brave goblins who pulled us through this stuff all the time. We started with 12 players. Not all of them made it out thus far, but some of them did. And I'm gonna mention those. First of all, both of our trolls survived this ordeal. Jean, one of our troll butlers, who survived. He got to level 3, we gave him guard and a strong arm. He was supposed to be the one to throw the goblins, despite me not really counting on it. Because, it has to be said, these two trolls enjoyed eating some of my goblins, unfortunately. But I gave him the strong arm anyway, because his axe is only the strength, and not much else to give him there. The other troll, Francois, also guard, but he got grab, which gives him. I underestimated the power of the grab. It really allows you to position your opponent where you need it. So yeah, again, I would love to roll some doubles on these guys, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. But they did their job. They survived the Survival League. Some of them really needed the help from the regeneration, but they pulled through. But on the other hand, you guys did some of the job, but you were not the saving grace of this team, let's be honest. Surprisingly enough, all Looney survived this entire season. We didn't have to replace him. Neville Chamberlain. He survived. On the other hand, I was hoping he would do better. But he did okay. He had his moments. But he also had a moment when he decided, you know what, I don't want to play today. I'm just gonna throw this fucking chainsaw on my head and leave for the rest of the match. So yeah, that wasn't nice of him. We got him 2 level ups, which is tricky considering he's loony and he's not getting SPP from injuring with his chainsaw. But he got 5 MVPs. So yeah, he has 28 SPP. He got 5 MVP, and then I scored 1 touchdown with him. That was because he was getting to level 3. First pick was obvious dodge. Then I was hoping for doubles to give him block to make him that much harder to take down. But I didn't, so I gave him jump up. Even though the skill, yeah, I didn't have much use for it, because when your loony gets down, he is most likely going out of the game anyway. Yeah, then he also suffered the injury of losing armor point, which doesn't help him at all. That makes him basically, yeah, that guy is out immediately. But he survived. Then there are 3 goblins, our regular goblins, that remain this entire season in a game. First of them is Friedrich von Laxative. He had sidestep and block, one of our blodge goblins. Great pieces, lovely pieces. So great to have block goblins, you have no idea. He suffered at the end of the season movement injury, which is annoying because losing movement on goblins not particularly great. But overall, he was a good piece. Good to have you on my team, Frederick. Good to have you. And of course, well, I'm gonna leave it for last. I'm also gonna talk about Wilhelm von Pimpelsberg. I remember this goblin specifically because this was the goblin that scored the very first touchdown of Aristoblins. Very first touchdown, then he scored a few more. He was a really good piece, really good player. Was really happy to have him in my team. And he did great. He rolled doubles that gave him block, and then I also gave him sidestep. Beautiful piece. Would pick him anytime. Wilhelm, you did great. But the most important piece that was here the entire season was the true most valuable player in my roster. The one and only Hans Solo. The goblin that decided, you know what? I want to make you happy, Speedy. I will become stronger. He rolled +1 strength. Say, Hans, you're great. You are the goblin I was looking for. And you get sidestep. Good. Useful. Means I can position where I need you. Great. I'd love though if you had block. That would make you so much more reliable. And Hans heard my prayers. He rolled 2 5s. I could give him plus movement, plus armor. But Hans knew what I wanted. And that's what I gave him. Block. Block strength 3 goblin. With sidestep. This is the dream come true. This is the goblin. Of course, if he would get also agility for that would be also good. But I can't be too much picky. This goblin was what got us thus far. Well, he was the important piece in our efforts, for sure. Han Solo, I'm so glad to actually hire you for Aristoblins. And I'd love to see you sometime again on the field, destroying the opponent, scoring touchdowns, and making opponents regret facing the wrath of the goblins. Anyway, those were the pieces that survive on our entire season and 2 matches in the playoffs. But also, let's not forget to mention the other players in our team. Testy von Claes, the replacement for our niggled fanatic Bartholomeus von Bock. I remember that man. I had to fire him because that niggle really wasn't great on him. Testy von Claes got injured as well, but that was agility. And the ironic thing is that agility on Fnatic is utterly useless. There is 0 use for agility on this piece. Or if there is, that would surprise me for sure. Yeah, agility on this piece, useless. Because he's using both his hands on rolling the ball, he has no hands, that means he cannot carry the ball. He doesn't give a fuck about dodging because he basically, when he's moving the ball in chain, he ignores any sort of tackle whatsoever. And he also leveled up and got Mighty Blow. You're a good piece, but let's face it. You're a fanatic. Your movement can piss me off so many times, and you can be really unreliable. But I didn't fire you. You did what you could. And sometimes you did good. A lot of times you failed me miserably. But still, you are part of this team. Heinz von Ketchup. A new player from, I don't know, last 10 matches or something like that. I don't know, I can't recall when I hired new players and when I got well, when they got replaced. Yeah, whatever. Heinz was so close to leveling up, maybe to become another blodge goblin for my team. But he didn't. He did some good job. He was a player of this team. And he certainly earned his spot. It's a shame he didn't live up to the glory of the blotch. But you survived, and maybe one day you will continue fighting on. Friedrich, we already talked about you. But yeah, again, Friedrich von Laxative, one of the few surviving players from the very start. Proud member of this team. Konrad von Speedy is back. This player was hired just before the playoffs. After the last match of the season. Konrad was the needed replacement for two injured and one dead player. So we were not low on players, and he did his job. Didn't do anything like meaningful. It's probably harsh to say. He didn't get any SPP, but he was there when we needed him. So Konrad, if this team will get an opportunity to continue somewhere else, you can still shine. Dieter von Blisterstein. Dieter, you were also one of the newer players. You scored one of our needed touchdowns, I believe. Where was it? Was it the last week? No. It was somewhere earlier. But you did help this team. I actually think you were one of the scoring pieces against the Skavens, the unbeaten team until the playoffs, where they just crumbled apart. We got farther than the unbeaten Skavens. Remember that, boys. Remember that. One touchdown away, and you were close to scoring that touchdown, but it was stolen from you by those damn lucky orcs. But we beat them in the end. Ernst von Hernia, also one of the newer pieces. He injured one of the opponent players. Don't remember when it was, but he did. He punched the shit out of them, injured them, crippled them, maybe even killed them. I can't recall right now, but he did it. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for him to go the blotch way. He still needed 4 more SPP and roll doubles. Erich von Burgpfalz. Erich was, I actually believe he was quite early replacement for one of my pieces. He might have been the one who replaced Stinky von Stinkleton, but I might not be correct on that one. Erich was so close to getting level 3, but he did to level 2, and he did make me happy. He rolled doubles. He became the Blotch team, the Blotch squad, the Blotch force, the blah blah blah. Unfortunately, the last match of the season, he also got injured and lost his movement. But he was able to play this week. But it was too much for Eric and the rest of the team to actually pull it through. But you did great, Eric. Karl von Dunkirk, another proud member of the Blotch squad. Karl, I can't recall when you were hired. You were probably also one of the earlier replacements. Because considering where you got, yeah, you did great, man. Block and sidestep. You are what the goblins should be. Good job, mate. And the last member, Wolfgang von Boomthorn. Wolfgang, you tried, man. You tried. Your throwing skills, there were moments where you surprised me, I admit. But there were also moments when you was not helping your teammate. I get it. Throwing bombs can be a risky business. It's not easy to carry a barrel full of bombs on your back and then also throw them. I get it. But Wolfgang, you are part of this team. No one can take that from you. But I'm not sure if I would hire again any of your other bombardier friends. I chose you, and you are here. And maybe at some point you might show again to me why you were chosen for this team. But unfortunately, you could have done better. Maybe you didn't play in the last match, and maybe that was the reason we lost. Maybe we needed you, and we didn't have you, and I'm not blaming you for it. You are part of this team, but you need to work hard to show others why you are a Aristoblin. I have faith in you, man. Maybe someday in the future, if there's gonna be moments for you to play, we shall see. That's it. That's all our roster. We had also help from some of our star players. Fungus, Nobla, Ripper. One match even Morgenthor decided he wanted to be the part of the Aristoblins. And he did help us in the victory against the Orcs in the playoffs. Even Bombardier's dribble stuff, though I still need to have a word with that man because he actively sabotaged the game we were playing. Aristoblins, you did great. No one would believe you would get in the playoffs, and no one thought you would get in the quarterfinals. Because getting to playoffs, sure, 16 teams out of 25, that can be done, sure. But with goblins, that is an achievement. And getting through the first round of playoffs just shows you they earned their spot. They earned their spot in the playoffs. They got in amongst the best 8 teams. The problem is they faced against one of the probably the best 2 or 3 teams of this league, so they had it hard. And they were close to actually pulling through. But this match was against them, unfortunately. They did good, they tried. It wasn't enough. And thus, ends the run of the Aristoblins. I would never have. Jim, shut up.
No, I got no idea where these guys came from.
Okay, now when I'm not gonna be disturbed. I really grow attached to this team. This team is. Hey, this is my team. These are my boys. I will always remember Aristoblins. As should everyone. Everyone who faced them. Everyone who won against them, who lost against them, who drew with them. Everyone's gonna remember Aristoblins. Because they proved everyone wrong. Everyone thought playing goblins is basically just for fun. You are no real competitor. And we proved them wrong. We were feared. And we were acknowledged and respected. If I could play with you guys in the next season, I would. But next season is for fresh faces. And unfortunately, I am forbidden from playing goblin teams. I could not take hand of, let's say, your sons or your servants or some other group of goblins. Because I played you this season. But on the other hand, should I play for a different goblin team? You are the one that shaped the goblin team, shaped me. Showed everyone that this team is no joke. Farewell guys, farewell boys. It's time. I said good day, sir. We'll see you hopefully some other time. Bye bye.